We're honoring our veterans today, and if you are a veteran, we are thanking you for everything that you have sacrificed for us. Delmarva Life viewer Donna DeFrancesco says, thank you for your fearlessness, dedication, and willingness to protect each and every American. Your service was, is, and will also be greatly appreciated. It was back in 1992 that 8 Vietnam veterans came together concerned over the increasing number of homeless veterans. So they started a bank account to purchase a home.
In 1994, the first Home of the Brave facility opened. 2 years later, another and a much larger home was purchased in Milford.
And it is still helping veterans today. Delmarva Life's Brian Spiros visited Home of the Brave. Now, Brian, this is actually giving veterans a second opportunity at life.
It is, Jimmy and Lisa. And before we get to that, I just want to remind people that we are here at the Wicomico County War Memorial, where a ceremony will take place here shortly. That's what the music and the setup is behind us. But back to Home of the Brave. When I first arrived at Home of the Brave, I was introduced to three men who proudly served our country, and now they have fallen on difficult times and are trying to get their life back on track.
From afar, this may look like your typical farmhouse, but it's actually much more than that. It's the site of Home of the Brave in Milford, Delaware.
Home of the Brave provides sort of like a shelter from the storm so that veterans can come here and get whatever services they need to transition out of homelessness.
Linda Boone is the interim director of Home of the Brave, which has been helping homeless veterans for 20 years. It's what's called a transitional facility. That means the stay for those who are here is temporary, on average 6 to 9 months. During that time, veterans receive support and resources to get their life back on track.
When we first started, homeless veterans was not 2 words that anybody in the veteran community or Capitol Hill or the VA wanted to put in the same sentence. So today, it's recognized that there are homeless veterans, but we have a solution now.
So how many veterans are you guys able to accommodate here?
Well, it's a large old farmhouse, so 15. We can house 15.
Linda says she's been a veteran advocate since the late 1960s, after she discovered a group of homeless vets living under a boardwalk in La Jolla, California.
And I was outraged and shocked that our nation would let veterans live on the street. And so since then, I've dedicated my life to making a difference.
How y'all doing today?
And Home of the Brave is certainly making a difference in many lives, including these 3 men who sat down with us to share their stories. Michael Gazzara served in the U.S. Navy from 1978 to 1981. 5 years ago, he suffered a stroke. He eventually was let go from his job and left with financial hardship.
December of last year, I finally used up all my unemployment benefits, and I was scraping by trying to sell stuff just to make ends meet.
He ended up losing his home of 10 years and hit rock bottom.
I ended up living in my car for about 2 months until May.
Edward Grabinski also served in the U.S. Navy from 1981 to 1987. He then watched 2 marriages fall apart and suffered health problems.
Well, I thought I served my country. You know, I did my duty, I did what I had to do, you know, and life is going to be easy. But I thought wrong.
This father and grandfather says he saw his life change in the blink of an eye.
The option was to live in my truck.
Tell me, what happened with your house, your housing? Tell me.
Then there's Edward Lang Sr. He served in the Army from 1966 to 1972. He fought in Vietnam.
It was an experience within itself, being the lead tank, middle tank, or bringing up the rear. It was very scary. I had a couple of close calls.
Edward admits he brought back bad habits when he returned home from war, drugs and alcohol. That, coupled with marital issues and the inability to work because of his health, left him without a place to call home.
Sleeping in my van on the church lot.
After their lives were turned upside down, these three men eventually found themselves at Home of the Brave. Now they have a roof over their head, are eating 3 meals a day, and are being helped along with jobs, schooling, and finances to get back out in the world on their own.
It puts your mind at ease because your stress level when you do come to a place like this, or any shelter for that matter, you're stressed out.
And it's like a big giant puzzle trying to, take those broken pieces and put them back together, and then they can move on to the next step and be whole again and be productive citizens and enjoy their life for what they've given to our nation.
Of course, all those who live in the house have to contribute.
They share cooking and they share chores. You're bunking with several other people in a room. So it's a communal family environment, and everybody is expected to participate in that home life.
While Home of the Brave receives federal funding, it also depends on the generosity of others to keep things going.
It's very rare that a day doesn't go by that somebody doesn't drive down the driveway with a check, with donations of food, of goods. The community is unbelievably responsive to our needs here. It's really heartwarming.
Not everyone is lucky enough to be given a second chance in life, but for those who have walked into Home of the Brave when they had nowhere else to go, they realize just how lucky they are.
With the weather and everything, living out of the back of my car, I probably wouldn't have made it.
It's giving me another chance. I'm not hungry. I have a roof over my head. Gives me a chance to sit down and think, where am I going from here?
It has given me a goal to shoot for, and with my predicament, sometimes goals weren't, I wasn't able to reach them. But I finally, with Home of the Brave, I have the ability to reach that goal.
That's why we're here, and that's why we've been here for 20 years, and we hope we're going to be here for the future of the current veterans that are now finding their way to us.
Now, Home of the Brave says it is currently in the process of finding a home for homeless female veterans and their children. Interim Executive Director Linda Boone says there is currently no such facility here on Delmarva. Now, coming up in just a little bit, one more story, one more interview, my sit down with a 98-year-old war veteran right here on Delmarva. Jimmy, Lisa.
Wow, that was great. Good job, Brian.
Brian,
Thanks.
thank you. That was terrific. Well, up next on Delmarva Life, there are children here on Delmarva who need a family to call their own, and there is a push this month to get more families to consider adoption. We're going to hear from one adoptive mother who opened her home and was given immeasurable love in return.
And speaking of giving, 'tis the season for giving here on Delmarva Life and delmarvalife.com. Over the next several weeks, we will be giving out gift cards to some of your favorite Delmarva businesses. Entering is easy. To learn more on how you can win at least a $50 gift card, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the Holiday tab. Happy holidays from all of us at Delmarva Life and delmarvalife.com. And congratulations to today's winner from Sussex County, Ron Ballweg of Lewis. You won a $180 gift card from Back Bay Charters in Ocean View.